She has to have 180 moving parts, all of them replaceable. She's to have a kiss that will heal everything from a broken leg to a broken heart. She's to have a lap that will disappear when she stands up. She's to be able to function on black coffee and leftovers. And she's supposed to have 6 pair of hands. 6 pair of hands, said the angel. That's impossible. God says, it's not the 6 pair of hands that bother me, said the Lord. It's a 3 pair of eyes. She's supposed to have 1 pair that see through closed doors, so whatever she said. What are you kids doing in there? She already knows what they're doing in there. Another pair in the back of her head to see all things she's not supposed to see, but she has to see. 1 pair right in the front. She can look right at a child that just goof and communicate love and understanding without saying a word. That's too much, angel said. You can't put that much in one bottle. Why don't you just rest for a while and take up your creating tomorrow again? I can't, said the Lord. I'm close to creating something very much like myself. I've already come up with a model who can heal herself when she's sick, who can feed a family of 6 with a pound of hamburger, one who can persuade a 9-year-old to take a shower. Then the angel looked at the model of motherhood a little more closely and said, she's too soft. Oh, but she's tough, said the Lord. You'd be surprised how much this mother can do. Can she think? Asked the angel. Not only can she think, said the Lord, she can reason and compromise and persuade. Then the angel reached over and touched her cheek. Uh-oh. This one's got a leak, he said. I told you you couldn't put that much in one bottle. That's not a leak, said the Lord. That's a tear. What's a tear for, asked the angel. It's for joy, for sadness, for sorrow, for disappointment, for pride. You're a genius, said the angel. The Lord said, oh, but I didn't put the tear there. See, maybe with this in mind, we can better understand the text today that we're going to be reading. The mother of Zebedee's sons. For all practical purposes, let's call her Mrs. Zebedee, and that's who she is. The mother of James and John. Now, with that in mind, turn with me to Matthew chapter 20. And read with me Matthew chapter 20, verses 20 through 23. Incredible story. It shows motherhood, I think, in maybe a new light. Maybe a lot of you have already seen this, but worth looking at. Matthew chapter 20, verse 23 and following. In fact, let's look at 20, verse 20. That's right. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him. When a woman desires something, man, hold on, because most of them are persuasive. He said unto her, what wilt thou? She said unto him, grant that these 2 sons may sit, one on your right hand, the other on your left, in your kingdom. Jesus answered and said, you don't know what you're asking. That's paraphrasing. Are you able to drink the cup that I have to drink? To be baptized with a baptism and I be baptized with it? They said, we're able. Church, before you say you're able, you better give some thought to it. They didn't understand what they were asking. But are you able? Oh, sure, we're able. You know what? Loose lips can do a whole lot of damage because you think. You speak before you think. He said to them in verse 23, you'll drink and be the my cup. And be baptized with the baptism and I be baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give. It shall be given to them for whom is prepared by my Father. See, she was aware of the teachings about Jesus' kingdom. She understood. She was very aware of the fact that her sons James and John were close to him. They'd been with him through all the stuff he was going through. They made up, if you will, 2/3 of the inner circle. Peter, James, and John. Wow. She was certain when the Lord promised these guys are close to him, whatever I ask, he'll just do it. She was so certain that when the Lord promised his kingdom, they'd have positions of responsibility and authority. But in the first part of the same chapter, listen to me, I think that Jesus telling a story that must have disturbed her, and that's caused her maybe to think a little bit. Remember the story in the first part of the chapter? The story of the landowner who went out early in the morning, hired guys to go work in the field, and said, I'll pay you this much. During the day, noon came, there were still some guys there who needed more help, so they went back. He said, come and work for me, and I'll pay you a good wage. Later on in the afternoon, and they work over there until 6, 7 o'clock at night. So probably 3 in the afternoon, but I said, gosh, I still need more guys. We're not going to get this done. Come on, guys, I'll pay you a fair wage. Keeping that in mind, you remember the story? They all come at night expecting he paid the first guys, he paid the last guys a wage, paid the second group a wage, and the first guys were going, wow, he's surely going to pay us more. They got the same thing, and then they were all upset. He said, it's my field. Don't I have the right to pay what I feel is worth it? So, see, people, church, we got to stop and think. She thought, oh my God, will my boys really have a position in the kingdom of authority and responsibility? Maybe I better go ask him. So when the opportunity presents itself, she comes to the Lord. And I think when she came, Matthew gives indication that she probably bowed before him in respect and reverence before she asked him. She says, when you establish your kingdom, I would request seats on your right hand or your left, Jesus. See, and a lot of folks, well, she didn't have any right. She was presumptuous. Maybe we ought to think a little bit today about some of her good qualities and the positive things that she did. Listen to this carefully, church. When she came to Jesus, while he did not grant the request, neither did he deny it. He simply reminded her of the cost of being seated on his right hand and his left hand. Then told her, it's the Father's. He determines who sits there, not me. And I look at this and I think this brings a point out. Mothers are prayer warriors. I know mine is. Grandmothers are prayer warriors. She prayed that her sons might have a part of the kingdom. Some of the good things, first of all, she came to the Lord praying that her sons might be part of the kingdom. And I can't think of a more important task of a mother than to seek to ensure that the kids that she raises, or even adopted, or kids that are just foster children, to raise them so that they be a part of the kingdom. A lot of mothers pray. Sometimes they pray out of necessity. Sometimes they pray because it's not easy. Motherhood can be difficult, church. I've seen the grief at the loss of a child before the parents. We've lost two of them, a boy and a girl. But there's times when your children do stupid things, and it breaks your heart. Grandkids do dumb things, and it breaks your heart. James Dobson tells a story, and some of you may have heard it, when his son, Ryan, was a very small baby. His wife had a horrible, horrible day. Ryan had been sick. He cried all day long. She changed the diapers, and as she was changing diapers, the phone rings, and God, she's wore out. There's this one occasion, the phone rings, and she's just getting little Ryan back. She cleaned him up. But before fastening the diaper, she went hurtling to the phone, grabbed the phone, talked for a few minutes, went back, and little Ryan had a case of horrible diarrhea. All over the couch, and she's just, she got it cleaned up, put sweet-smelling clothes on him, took him into the living room, fed him, and thought, wow, things are going to be okay. And as she's burping him, he hurled all over her and the couch. James Dobson writes, when I came home, I could smell the aroma of motherhood everywhere. And she cried out to him, was all this in my contract? See, mothers sometimes pray out of frustration. I'm sure that surely that day was probably frustrated. They cry out of frustration, pray, trying to teach the kids. Maybe we start thinking, wow, there's some difficulty in communication. How many of you talk to your children? And Patty, you guys don't know, your parents probably talk to you a lot. And for a while there, they were really stupid, didn't know nothing. And all of a sudden, when you get probably 25, 30 years old, it's funny how smart mom and dad got overnight. I've been there, done that, church. There's a young man, and this story is told. A young man gave his 2-year-old son, we'll call him Stephen.